Hello, welcome to Lunch with Lee. Today we're talking about something that I just did with two different customers with our virtual assessments, which is going over multiple different chimney repair bits. And it's very, very difficult because if you don't agree on what the actual problem is, then it's very difficult to compare bids. Because we have one company who says X is the problem, but there's no documentation, there's no way to know if it's actually true. And on their estimates, they're very, very vague. And quite often, what they're saying and what the bid is doesn't really match. Either they say it's incredibly easy repair for a lot of money, or the bid is for a lot of stuff, like a week's worth of work, and they're only charging for a day or so. And you're thinking that something's off. And customers want to believe, and I would love to believe too, that, oh, this cheaper option is just somebody who's super, super good and they're just cheap. But the reality is, and I was trying to explain this to a customer, a lot of times these cheap bids, they're cheaper than the part cost is, which makes you sort of back up a little bit like, wait a minute, how are you doing this cheaper than the actual part cost? And what we found with talking to people, what I found after 21 years is often by the time you get to the end of the repair, the price you started with isn't the price you end with, because they didn't anticipate problems. They anticipate everything to go perfect. Or they're going into this losing money and they have to increase the bid just to break even or to make any money. So be very, very aware. Or sometimes there's not a problem, because that's what we ran into my last one. There wasn't a problem at all. They were just bidding to fix a non-existent problem, incredibly cheap. And then they were going to wave a magic wand over the top, I'm assuming, or do some really unnecessary cheap repair and then charge you for it and leave. So be incredibly picky, because when it comes to chimney companies, there is no licensing. There isn't a whole lot of standardization. Yes, there are certifications, but if you ask any company, do you have certified technicians? They'll say, yes, my company's certified. And that doesn't exist. There's no such thing as a certified company. There's only certified people. And even if they say their people are certified, who certifies them? There are some certification agencies that are national certification agencies, but nothing is required. But often you'll hear, oh, I don't know who certifies them, or we have an in-house certification program. If you ask them, because that's what we're trying to compare, are these people actually insured for the work they're supposed to be doing? And they will say, absolutely, I'm insured. And then you ask them for proof, and that's when they start to back up. So be very, very cautious about getting estimates and just assuming that, like a car, that a Ford F-150 from 3 different lots is the exact same thing, because it's not. We talk about with our people all the time, even if they have the exact same products as us or somebody else, if you don't install them correctly, or you don't buy the correct parts, because it's not uncommon for us to show up at a job site where somebody got halfway through a repair and then abandoned ship and left, that the parts they bought either weren't correct for the situation, or they bought half the parts. And the reason they left is because they don't even have enough stuff to finish the job. And they bid so cheap that now they're underwater. So they just leave. So be very, very aware of the differences between bids. And it's incredibly hard without expert eyes looking at something to tell what is kind of BS and what is not. And for us, we'll be happy. Go to our website or call our office, schedule virtual assessments, send in the estimate. Don't black everything out, because we've seen that too. You black out all the descriptions, you black out all the prices, you black out the company names. But we have to compare companies in order to figure out, is this person certified, or do they have certified people? Do they have insurance? How long have they been around? Do they actually have a location where they're not just sort of a company that's here for the winter and then just going to disappear? Because that happens all the time. So If you need help, let us know. We'll be happy to help you. We'll walk through it. And if the other company seems to be a good deal, which sometimes that happens, or in your situation, because the question is, even in your situation, sometimes we bid a lot of different options, but some of the higher end, the most quality of options, if it's long-term value, maybe you're not going to be there long-term. Maybe minimum standards work for you. Because quite often what people promote is, hey, this meets code. Well, code is a minimum standard. There are things better than standard code. So, but they're proclaiming like this meets standards. Well, yeah, it just barely meets standards. Meaning that for us, that's not always good enough, but in some situations it is. So it's important to ask questions. And that's what we do when I do my virtual assessments. We do it when our guys go out in the field, which is, how long are you going to be in this house? Is this your forever house? Are you about ready to move out? Are you about ready to buy this house? We need to know your situation. And then we need to know, what do you want this thing to do? Because people all the time, they're going to install this fireplace for X amount of money. Okay, cool. What do you want the fireplace to do? I don't know. It's a fireplace, right? You're like, no, it's not. There's some fireplaces that are appliances that are designed like a washer or dryer to last a specific amount of time, and then you have to replace them. And there's some fireplaces that are permanent fixtures. They all require maintenance. So be very, very cautious. Make sure you know what you're getting for your money. If you're not sure or you're not confident or anything else, let us know. We're here to help. That's what we do. That's how we help the world, which is people call us when they need help with their chimney and fireplaces, and we help them. That's how we fit into this whole puzzle. So that's it for today. If you have estimates, if you're not sure, let us know. I don't care if you use us or not. The idea is for you to make an educated decision. And that's why we go out to customers' houses, so we can define what the actual problem is exactly, so that we can make sure we have the correct repair for you and know your situation, not just what the problem is, but why do you want to do this? Sometimes the answer is do nothing. That's okay in some situations. Now, if your fireplace is leaning over and about to fall into your house, it's not okay. But we can come out to your house. We can do a virtual assessment, whether you use us or not. That's what we do. That's how we help people. We can repair anything and everything if you would like us to, or we can just give our opinion. So that's it for today. Please like it, share it. If you know somebody that's having fireplace problems or moving into a house, that it would be nice to know exactly what's going on with the fireplace, because home inspectors do a good job of inspecting homes. But when you want an in-depth inspection, it's kind of like going to your general doctor and having a heart problem. They send you to a specialist. The general doctor is the home inspector. We are the specialist that comes in and really digs down and diagnoses what's going on. So if you know someone who needs help, please share it, like it, follow our YouTube channel. If you have any questions, go to our YouTube channel, search up what your issue is, and I'm almost guaranteed you're going to find some video that answers your question. If you don't, let me know. I'll make one. So that's it for today. Thanks, and we will see you next time.